recorded live right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's time again for Larry's Rants, Raves, and Reviews. And now here's Larry.
Okay, my promise yesterday was the fact that we were going to jump right in with this, Brian. I think that we need to start this episode out with the absolute fact that you are not a politician.
No. Farthest thing from it.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, you know, even on your website, I'm reading here, it says, our country faces a crisis of trust. Mm-hmm. And I completely buy into that.
Really?
Which is why I say in my office, the day that I'm sworn in, my office door comes off its hinges and goes into a storage closet. So if anybody wants to hear what I'm doing and what's going on, they can just sit out in the lobby.
You mean
listen.
literally going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I've got a group of guys that I've invited to bring their drills in. And if they will allow me to remove the screws from the hinges, we'll do that. If not, we'll remove the pins and then put it in storage. But I will not have a door in my office. And if the Historical Association says that I cannot do that and they bring in some statute, laws, whatever, then I am getting a stand-up desk and I'm putting it right in front of the water cooler. And that will be my desk. And that will be where I work at. So
I love it.
One way or another, I will be accessible whenever I'm in my office. I'll be accessible.
Wild man Norris.
I love it.
Well, you know, I did the same thing as the first sergeant. And if you come in and I'm busy and I'm really in the middle of something, I may look at you and be like, got it.
Yeah.
Go back, give me 15 minutes, and then we'll have this conversation that you want. But right now I need to continue focus on that. Can you respect that?
Okay.
Sure. Most people is not going to go crazy, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing that I tell people is I've made a whole lot of claims while I've been out here, and I've been consistent the entire time, and I've never deviated, right?
Okay.
So day one, I'm going to put it all up on a board, and I'm going to put a checkbox next to it.
Okay.
And I've got two choices. I can either check it or give you an explanation.
Okay.
And I owe you an explanation if I don't put a check on it.
So where will your office be then? Down at the Capitol then?
Believe it or not, the Secretary of State has two offices. There's one in the Capitol, and then there is one down the street, and I think it's the Victory Building. Maybe it's that.
Yeah,
it's over there, and that's the businesses and stuff and that. And then usually the main Secretary of State's office is in the Capitol Building, which I think that's wasteful. I don't think we need two offices. We'll look at seeing if we can consolidate and doing something in that perspective. But the main office is in the Capitol Building, and that's the office I'll pretty much occupy when I'm down in Little Rock.
Right.
But my plan is to 2 days out of every week, every week, hard calendar and make commitments to go and spend out in the state of Arkansas so that I can't just back out of it, right?
Right.
Months in advance.
Right.
So I'm going to meet with business leaders in this area on this date. I'm going to meet with business leaders in here. I'm going to meet with county clerks on this date. And that way it's much more difficult to cancel because I've already made those commitments. I've scheduled those appointments and they've cleared their calendar. So, and I want to do that as far out as I can, 2 days every week.
Cool.
And then only spend 3 days in Little Rock. And the 3 days that I am in Little Rock, all I intend to do is one of those days is nothing but check up on everything I've asked them to do the week before, right? Run everything down and then go to the source and be like, did you get this done? Where you at with it? Why are you not done? Let's figure it out. You know, good if you are. If not, let's figure out where you're not. And then the second day will be, you know, seeing the advances that we made and putting up a plan for the next week and the week after that, circling those horses up. And then have a day to where people can just come and meet with me in the office if they want to, if they're wanting to come in and meet with me and just take meetings. And there's going to be things that I can't control. Like I am responsible for the security of the Capitol. So we're going to have to go behind closed door sessions when we do that. But I think people can understand and respect that, right? But outside of that, I intend to put online everything I do and meeting minutes. Like I went to Northwest Arkansas, I had a meeting with X, Y, and Z, and here's the meeting minutes. Here you go. Everywhere I'm going, what I'm doing, what transportation I'm taking, how much fuel I'm using, where would we eat at, who paid for the meal. I'm gonna throw it all up out there. I don't care.
I want you to bring up about the importance of this is important for the primary.
Yes.
See, and a lot of people, well, I don't want to vote for the primary. I'm just going to wait for the election. Well, tell why it's important for the primary.
The election, the primary is the election in Arkansas for statewide offices, especially.
Right.
And more important than that, all of your judges that you are going to elect, they do not run in the general.
Yeah.
They only run in the primary. So if you ever get in trouble, or if you ever have to go to family court, or you ever have to involve anything with a judge, you will have a chance to vote for that individual in March. You will not have a chance to vote for that individual in November.
Right. So the primary is just as important as the
It's more in
election.
Arkansas.
It's more.
The general does not really matter
Right.
for a statewide office. A Democrat doesn't really have a chance unless you just got a crazy Republican candidate and something happens.
Yeah.
And even then,
So
I still don't know if they.
Larry,
have a
I
chance.
think you need to point out to your viewers we need to vote that primary because a lot of people, they just said, well, I'll just wait.
Well, Randy
They don't
Sam
see
said
it.
the same thing.
Yeah.
He's running over for Senate in District 16, and he said the same thing, that whoever he and his opponent, whoever wins that primary, is probably going to win the election.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a guarantee, but history
difficult
proves.
not to.
Yeah, you'd have to go out there and kind of purposely screw it up. Now you're in a primary against two other people, Kim Hammer, who is a Arkansas senator at this time, correct? Yep. And then Kathy Hardin Harrison, who is a judge in Miller County. And so, are you feeling pretty good about the election?
Yeah, I'm trying not to be overconfident, but I think it's mine to lose. But I've ran this entire campaign as it's me versus me. I don't worry about what they're doing. I've driven over 35,000 miles. I've been to 215 events so far. This will be 216 when I count it up now. I don't know how many interviews that I've done totally, but we have put in the work.
Yeah.
And we've established our plan, and we went with our plan. And there's not too many places you can go to in the state now to where someone they know, if they have not talked to me, someone they know has talked to me and listened to me. And whether they agree with me or they like me, that's a moot point. But at least they've gotten to hear me and know about me. I don't know
so
if my opponents
far I
say
can
the same.
appreciate your attitude, number one, because I believe attitude is everything. And so far, your attitude has been very positive. It's been very motivating, and you just have a lot of energy about you.
It's been that way my entire life.
I can appreciate that.
Well, I always tell my soldiers, you can only control what you can control. The enemy always gets a vote.
Yeah.
You can have the absolute best plan ever devised by man. But a plan is really good until you get shot at or punched in the face, like Mike Tyson said. And then things start to change and you got to adapt, right? But you can't control. What you can control is the work that you put in before, the sweat that you spill on it, the rehearsing the drills, the knowing the call signs, the knowing the codes, the knowing who to go after, how to call for fire, how to call for air support, how to do all that, right? That's when you make your money in it. So when I started this race, I told my wife, I said, here's what we can control and what we can't control. I do not have statewide name ID yet. I am a grassroots candidate that's not well connected because I've been outside of this state for 20-something years serving it. So a lot of people don't know me. I do not have the legislative support because our state senator's running, so they're probably going to lean his direction. And I can't go to all the county judges and try to solicit their support because one of their colleagues is running as well. And they're entrenched. But what I can control is my work ethic and my ability to build teams and get buy-in and meet people where they are and ask them to just give me a chance. Because if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
Yes.
And Arkansas has been at the bottom of every statistic that matters, and I'm sick and tired of it because that's not who we are.
Right.
We have allowed everyone else to determine and dictate who we are and call us names and say we're rednecks and say we're this and say we're everything else. Well, we're going to create an environment in which we begin to define ourselves and show the rest of the nation and world exactly who we are, which is not just a bunch of country bumpkins that drive pickup trucks, drink beer, and shoot at road signs.
Right.
We are the people that built the world's largest retailer named Walmart.
Yeah.
We are the people that feed the entire world from levee systems built to drain the Delta and that put food on the plate all over this world. We are the people that built one of the largest logistical operations of J.B. Hunt. We are the people that have Tyson, a man that figured out how to grow poultry products that feed the entire world.
Yeah.
We are world leaders in a lot of areas, but we allow others to define us. We're going to change that. We're going to create a situation where that's not.
Randy,
not the
I'm
case
afraid
anymore.
we're going to have to go back and put a new title on this, and instead of From Battlefield to Ballot Box, I think we're just going to entitle it Bryan the Brainiac. I mean, my gosh, he's got a great mind. Hey, let me bring this up. It says Secretary of State candidate Bryan Norris files federal lawsuit challenging Arkansas election law as unconstitutional.
Yep.
Now, one of the big things is that you, as Secretary of State, would be over. It says you are the chief election officer. You oversee the process, maintaining voter rolls and certifying elections, etc. So you sued the state over. You say what's unconstitutional. Let's dive into that for a minute.
Well, it's not just me. 4 other states had the exact same lawsuit, and all 4 won.
Okay.
So we have a very high likelihood that we're going to win, and the state knows that. They're just trying to buy time. What the lawsuit stems from is, how do you ensure that things are being done the right way? You get people to check. And one of the ways that you can get people to check is by doing exit polling. Well, when I called Rasmussen and tried to get a contract with them to come and do exit polling in the top 10 counties for population in the state of Arkansas, they said, we're not coming to Arkansas because we don't want to deal with the lawsuits and we don't want our people potentially going to jail. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, you just had a court case where they arrested Colonel Conrad Reynolds because he was conducting an exit poll outside of a place in Independence County. And so we're not going to attempt it. Well, that's disenfranchising me of my ability to perform a check on my election. And exit polling is a constitutional right. Even our own AG, Tim Griffin, said back in 2019 that exit polling is a First Amendment right.
Okay.
And now he's saying that we can't do exit polling within 100 feet of the door. Well, if you go to a lot of polling locations in Northwest Arkansas and Pulaski County or in Craighead County and the populated areas, you can't be anywhere near an area in less than 100 feet, or you have to be on the other side of the road.
Is that because of the campaigning? You can't campaign within 100 feet?
That's what it stems from. So there was a lobbyist group or an advocacy group that had water bottles, and they put a label on it, and they were handing bottles out to people that was voting in support of a candidate. So that's where the law stems from. That's not exit polling. That's advocating for an issue or an opponent or a candidate, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exit polling, you can't influence an election because they've already voted. You're asking them a simple question. Would you mind telling me how you voted on a specific race or measure? That's it.
Okay.
Your vote's done.
Right. Right.
You know, and it
That makes sense.
and what's the point in asking someone that hasn't voted yet?
Well, Pulaski County needs to get it cleaned up because last time my vote didn't count. It didn't count. And, you know, they looked at it all. Michael White researched it all and all that, and everybody was getting thumbs up all at my district, and he got 0 votes.
Yeah. I don't think
Something's
you're the only
wrong.
one that experiences that.
Something's wrong. I know it.
I completely. What we have in Arkansas right now is we have privately funded and privately run elections that are publicly funded. So ES&S is the contractor that supplies our voting machines. And they have full ownership of proprietary rights to everything that happens on those machines, which means we are not allowed to look inside and see what's going on the inside of that machine. We are not allowed to forensically audit the thumb drive that they use to transmit the data to the machines prior to the election and then after the election.
That's scary.
The state Supreme Court has ruled that it is proprietary knowledge and we are not authorized to have access to it. Even though we have a transparency clause in our constitution, state constitution that says we do have a right to it, but because it's technically a private company. So you have a private company getting paid public dollars and are not being transparent at all. It doesn't pass the smell test to me at all. I don't like it. Let's say that they're not doing anything nefarious. Okay, trust but verify. I don't care. It's my money. It's my right.
Yeah.
And my rights come from God. Your job, government's to protect them.
Yeah.
Show me the machine.
Yeah.
Show me what I want to see, right?
Exactly.
Pretend I'm from Missouri for a little bit and show me.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't like the way that our system is set up right now. I agree with President Donald Trump, first and foremost. I think we have a serious problem with election interference in this nation.
Yes, we do.
Right.
Maybe Arkansas has not felt it too much. Maybe, right? But let's just say that
Maybe Arkansas hasn't uncovered it enough.
We don't know what we don't know, and you don't try to fix that issue after it's already happened, right?
Yeah.
We know there's a problem with machines throughout this nation. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Pennsylvania, New York, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. You know these machines have issues.
They stole 2020.
So I agree with you. 100% they did. So why do we just sit around and wait until it comes to Arkansas? Why don't we fix it before it comes to that point? So Donald Trump has an executive order that he signed, and our own governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, has said in a press conference in D.C. that when she was asked about paper ballots and stuff, she said, we're working on that. So I want to help the governor work on that and bring that to the people of Arkansas.
Do you dislike the machines?
Very much so, now that I've learned about them. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I was agnostic.
Okay.
But now that I've read stolen elections and I've dug into it and I've read the reports and I've seen, you don't get so emotional about something unless it's personal and unless you know something's wrong about it, right? Mm-hmm. So, if your significant other's cheating on you and you walk in, you're like, you cheating on me. And they just go irate and start flipping around and everything. Well, that's a pretty good tell. Something's not right?
Mm-hmm.
When Independence County decided to go paper ballots, we were attacked by every elected official in that county and from the state. When Searcy County went, their quorum court voted to go to paper ballots, and they threatened a 15-year ban and fines on the election commission for doing it and took them up there. And they had to fight for over 2 years to not be banned because they proved that they didn't do anything wrong, right? So why were they doing all that? And then they pass all these laws that prohibit any county from being able to do what we did in Independence County now with a citizen-led petition to get paper ballots, where 63% of the people voted for paper ballots, right? They took all that away, and they sued me to the state Supreme Court to keep it off the ballot. Why would you do that? Well, we learned a lot during that process. We FOIA'd our county, and we FOIA'd the state, and we learned that there's this organization called the Arkansas Association of Counties who was dictating to our county elected officials in all 9 counties that were trying to do the ballot petitioning like we were on how to combat and fight this. And they said, what you're going to do is you're going to go after them for out-of-state canvassers, and you're going to declare the ballot title insufficient. You're going to declare it insufficient because of out-of-state canvassers. Then when they come back and we lose that one in court, which we will, then when they come back in 2026, we will go after the title and declare the title insufficient, and that'll get us out to 2028, and we'll get some legislation through that'll make it to where they can't do that, right? That was in legitimate emails to our elected officials. And our elected official responded to one and said, I've gone through everything, and on the signature sheets, it doesn't appear that our people used out-of-state canvassers. It seems we have a problem. To which the county attorney replied, attack the ballot title now then. So that's exactly what our county clerk did, was what was being advised by her county attorney, who was being told what to do from the AAC, meaning a 501c3 organization was telling our elected officials what to do, and they were complying, right?
Wow.
So they declared it insufficient, so we sued, went to district court, and won. And they said, okay, we're done. We're just going to let it go. Well, they tell me that. 2 weeks later, I get a notice that they're appealing it to the state Supreme Court. Why would you spend so much money, taxpayer money, to fight a simple ballot measure being put before the people? Well, one, they know that the people want it, and they can't control that.
Right.
And number two, they don't want paper ballots for whatever reason. Use your imagination. I don't know how they feel, but I know that they don't want it, and they wouldn't be so emotional about something like that unless it was personal.
Well, I just read just recently, more testimony is coming out. I believe it's in Georgia, of someone that voted for Donald Trump, that the moment that it went in, it flipped it over to Biden, and now they actually have proof that this election was stolen. And now, finally, all these years later, 6 years later, they're coming out and they're testifying. So a machine, a computer, is easy to manipulate and flip it over.
Too easy.
A computer is only as good as the programmer. And it does not have to be connected to the internet. I want to get that clear to your audience. This internet thing that everyone talks about, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A computer has a date-time group on it. It knows what day it is. It knows what time it is. And it can be programmed to behave a certain way all the way up until the election, behave differently, and then when the election's over, go back to behaving appropriately. That's easy to do with programming. That's not an issue. But in Arkansas, the elected officials will say, we're number one for election integrity. And on paper, again, that's true.
Yeah.
But you know who the Heritage Foundation ranked #1 for election integrity in 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia.
Yeah.
How well did that work out for Georgia?
Exactly.
Georgia's still ranked in the top 5.
Yeah.
So,
and
again,
the Heritage Foundation is a very conservative
I
group.
love the Heritage Foundation.
Yes.
But they only look at the laws on the book.
Yeah.
Which is voter ID and all this stuff, right? Well, we just had over 1,000 people arrested for fraudulent voter ID in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
So clearly, laws are only as good as enforced, and I'm glad you caught that 1,000, but what about the other thousands that are out there that we don't know about?
Well, your office would be the office that would maintain the voter rolls.
Yes.
Do you feel like our voter rolls here in Arkansas have been cleaned up properly? No. They have not been policed properly?
No.
And is that your intent?
Absolutely.
Okay. I've told Randy before, my mother passed away a few years ago, and because she was elderly, she didn't want to go stand in line and all that, so she did a mail-in ballot. Mm-hmm. She passed away. Next election.
She got a mail-in ballot.
I got a mail-in ballot. And I'm sitting at my desk, okay?
Give it to me, Larry.
And I literally am sitting there filling out the ballot. And I just could not bring myself. I'm like, every election is rigged, and I might as well participate until the point that my
But you'd go to jail.
Christianity. Oh, sure I would. Yeah, I would.
You'd be the one to call.
Yeah.
So how do we fix it?
And so finally, let me finish my story. I finally, about midnight, got up and took that ballot and ran it through my shredder.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid that my integrity would not last through the night. And I'd wake up, have a cup of coffee, and the next day
it'd be gone.
Take it and mail it in, you know? And so I literally took it and I said, I cannot do this.
Yep.
I don't want to.
Good for you.
I don't want to. I don't want to end up in hell over my mama voting for. You know,
and it's it's something that you would look in yourself in the mirror and think about too for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah,
it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I can do it.
And those people get wrapped up in those demons, and then they get so succumbed by it, and their life becomes just terrible.
Well,
so don't get down that road.
I don't want to end up in hell, in eternity, and I certainly don't want to be like Bill and Hillary Clinton that can disobey the law, and be subpoenaed, and then they just ignore it. Okay, I'd like for all my listeners, if you've got any kind of a subpoena or something, just ignore it. Just don't worry about it. And then just go before, when they drag you into court, look at the judge and say, hey, I'm going on the Clinton law. Now get these cuffs off of me and get me out of here.
Yeah.
Because if it's good for them, it's good for me. You asked me earlier, and because I read your website, I have the habit of doing that. You said we have a crisis of trust. You said, well, Larry, do you trust the government? I said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't either. So why would we trust the machines?
I don't.
But most Americans have a high distrust of the government. But a lot of people want these machines still, too, especially the elected officials.
And do they know, as you have just put out on this podcast, do they know that we don't even control the guts of that machine?
No, most people don't have any idea of how it actually works.
No.
And they're not going to do their homework to figure it out either. And I'll scream it into the mountaintops. That's the best I can do.
Hey, when we were younger, we had hanging chads, and we thought that was big.
Right. But how do we fix it? How do we fix it, Larry?
I don't know, because America has divorced God to the point and divorced integrity that we are giving up our liberties based on our lack of integrity.
Well, I can't control that, but I think I got a plan.
All right, let's hear it.
And a go without a plan is a wish, right?
Okay.
So what's the plan? Well, even if we stick with machines, I can guarantee you for a fact, for the first time in this state's history, I will see the inside of that machine because I'm allowed as a constitutional officer. I'm the chief elected official, so I'm going to see.
Okay.
And we will do a 100% audit of every machine after the primary election. Did you know Arkansas has not done a primary-wide audit ever in its history that I can find? If you can find it, let me know.
Really?
Really. And again, elections are in the primary. Now, they'll audit the general to a certain degree, but primaries they usually leave alone. And the election is in the primary. So we will dedicate a team and we will come up with a system and we will find, it may take us 2 years to get all of them, but every single one of those machines are going to be under lock and key with a camera on it until we get to it to do a forensic audit on it.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
That's awesome, man.
100%.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell them, preserve your records, your paper books too.
Disagree with me on this if you want to, or agree. I don't care. Don't you think that machines are intimidating to a lot of seniors?
Yeah.
There's a lot of seniors that if you put a computer in front of them, yeah, Randy.
I want the pen back where I can mark.
How do you audit voter intent on a machine? How can you audit voter intent on a machine? You can't.
No, but you can go back to a paper ballot that's got a pin mark.
Well, they
through
say
my
we have
mark.
paper. It prints out. That's paper.
No, when that like it used to be when you get your card and you mark it, and then
our elected officials
goes
say
through.
We give you paper. It's printed out. It's a paper ballot. You can read it. It's got everything on there that you selected.
Yeah, like the last election, they gave us one and we marked it, and then they ran it into a machine to record it.
But that's the argument they make.
Yeah.
In Arkansas, the elected officials will say, we have paper ballots.
Yeah.
It prints out and you can read it. And then they'll also say, name one instance where the machines were wrong in the state of Arkansas. Okay. Again, talking points, right? Let's peel the onion back a little bit and just go down surface level deep, right? What happens if a voter goes up to a machine and it prints off the wrong ballot? It makes a mistake. What happens? They call the election commissioner over. They show them the mistake. They spoil the ballot. They just throw it away. And then they go back and vote again. And that's the people that actually check, right? So the machines did make mistakes. That happens all the time.
Yes, it does.
Happened to me.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
How many people went through that mistake and didn't catch it when they put it in the machine? The average Arkansan only looks at their ballot 2.3 seconds before they turn it in, right? That's a Rasmussen poll that's put out there. But there's an Arkansas law that says the audit of an election must be conducted in the same manner in which the election took place, which means the machines audit themselves. So, of course, the machine is never going to find fault with itself. Yeah. It's going to run the exact same report that it did before.
Sure.
I think two-factor authentication is the absolute best way to go.
Yeah.
Have machine tabulators. Vote on paper, run them through a machine to get a quick, fast count. Then come back and do a certification hand count of every ballot. And the hand count should match the machine count, and the machine count should match the hand count. Because when I go to the bank and I withdraw a large sum of money, they run it through a machine.
Yeah, they do.
And then they count it right out in front of me, right? And both better match.
Yeah.
Why can't we treat our vote the same way?
Exactly.
To me, it's more important than that greenback.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to determine the spending of $6.3 billion in the state of Arkansas and about $3.5 trillion at the federal level.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Right.
And if you think about it that way, who is determined at the ballot box has the influence of the spending of $6.5 billion in the state of Arkansas and over $3 trillion at the federal level? Now, that's worth a little bit of influence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Establishment. That's what Randy said.
Yeah,
Randy
that's right.
Sams.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, also I like where you went with that because it's going to put me up here. You know, we talked to Randy Sams a few episodes ago about PAC money.
Yeah.
About dark money.
Yep.
I'm just going to put you on the spot. Are you taking any PAC money?
The only PAC I've taken is from Conduit, and they have several PACs, and two of their PACs gave me a donation, and they are the only PAC that I will accept from unless I find another one that's very much similar to them because I know them and I know what they stand for, and there's no strings attached.
Okay.
You know what their strings are and their goals is? More financial freedom for the average Arkansan. Mm-hmm. I can get on board with that.
Okay.
Right? And I know both of those individuals personally, and they know me more importantly, and they know how stubborn and hard-headed I am.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm going to do the right thing, and we can have a conversation about something, and we can agree to disagree.
Yeah. Well, I think that you're talking, and I don't speak on behalf of Randy because we don't see eye to eye on everything. I have a habit of only speaking for myself, okay? Because I don't like to speak for others. I personally think that you've got these little clubs, the Republican club, you got the Democratic club, and they are the good old boys that are taking care of one another. They know who the next candidate for what office is. They've got them lined up. They know exactly who's going to be here, here, and here. And if you go and win this election, then we're going to put you into this one, and it's just a machine.
Yeah.
And and there is no hope. You're outside of those clubs, even though you're running on a Republican.
Oh yeah, I'm hated by the RPA, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
That's why you're not getting any of the dark money.
Well, they wouldn't even give me access to their data initially.
Really?
For the longest time, they kept holding me out, and then they were playing games with us, like me, Scout Stubbs, Chase McDowell, and a few others that are outside that box. They were playing games with us about getting the access to the data. But, you know, that turned into be one of the most beautiful things to ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no one in the state of Arkansas that has better voter data than me now.
Yeah.
Because I had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't tell people how I did it, but I have over 2.1 confirmed voter ID points of contact with addresses. I have more than 1.6 million with phone numbers that are accurate. And I have about, still running a little bit, probably about 800 to 900,000 emails associated with them too.
Oh, wow.
And that's not counting the social media handles on Facebook, X, Instagram, everything else. And I have done all that with just me and a few teammates. So again, I had a plan. And when I was coming up against an obstacle and my plan was becoming at risk, I have to adapt. So what did I do? I went to the universities and I talked to some computer science people who were studying, and we gamed a system out, and we started first you had to answer, where do you get voter data at? Where's the good source for it, right? Well, you can purchase it, but that's really expensive. For a statewide race in Arkansas, it comes out to about $150,000 to get like I-360 and all that stuff on it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to have that. That's out of it. So what else can we do? What can we control? I can call and FOIA every county and get the data from the clerks. I can reach out to other organizations that do stuff and see if they'll give me their data. I can reach out to other candidates and see if they'll give it to me. So I just started doing that all day, every day, and having other people doing it out everywhere to anything you could think of, and bringing it all back in and filtering it and sorting it. And we came up with a system that was really, really good.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And here's a question. As you were talking, it just popped into my head. This term as Secretary of State, if or when you win, is a 4-year term. Is that correct?
It is.
How many terms can you have?
2.
2. So that's 8 years that you would have in that office, possibly, potentially, to clean some things up.
And I have no go for nothing else. I tell people I'm looking to be a steward of a seat for a brief moment in time that's owned by you, if you will employ me to go and do it for you.
Yeah.
And my job is to do everything that I can to make it better and elevate the state to levels that it has not seen before, and then hand it off to the next person that will hopefully do the exact same thing and carry that torch forward. And then I'm going to go back home and deal with the consequences of my actions and decisions that I made. That's what our founders intended.
Yeah.
This is not a launching pad to another office for me. I have no desire to go to D.C. I've been there too much already. It's a cesspool. It's Babylon.
Yeah.
It is the embodiment of Babylon today, and I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Plus, sometimes you just got to pull away and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I think I've done enough already, probably, but I know that I can do more. And I have a drive to do more. And sometimes when that little small, still voice inside of you is telling you to do something and you don't pay attention to it, life gets difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm not that stupid. And I paid attention.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing, the doors that opened up for me on this path.
I'll take you crappie fishing.
Let's. I want to do a lot of nothing.
Well, I like everything that you're saying on these 2 episodes, and I can tell you,
that's right.
If you take a look at my T-shirt, it says term limits. I believe completely it's been a...
They're about to try to change that in the state capital of Arkansas.
Well, I'm telling you,
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It's coming up.
Yeah. I believe in term limits. I'm telling you, if it's good for the president, I always say, if it's good for the president, it's good for the dog catcher and everybody in between. And I say give you 2 terms, 4-year terms. Put everybody on the same program.
Yep.
I hate career politicians. I don't trust career politicians.
Well, I'm the only candidate in this race that's not a career politician.
There you go. So,
and I'm also on that point. Miller County Judge she's able to put judge next to her name on the ballot. State Senator Kim Hammer is able to put senator next to his name on the ballot.
Yeah.
I'm a retired United States Army First Sergeant. I can't put First Sergeant next to my name on the ballot.
Really?
Now, if I was an honorary colonel from the Chicken Club of Kentucky,
Yeah.
I could put colonel.
Wow.
But if I'm an actual retired colonel,
The door's coming off the hinges now.
right?
Yeah.
If I was a retired colonel
Yeah.
from the United States military, I could not do it.
Wow.
Why do you think that is?
Because of the corruption. I mean, it's my answer to everything, because they want to make sure that who they've hand selected and they've groomed and they've paid and they've done everything for, and who owes them, the establishment.
Yep.
They want to make sure that they're the ones that go into office because they want total and complete control.
And there's different ways to make someone owe you too, right?
Yeah. What are you over there doing, Randy?
Flash those papers, Larry. give us a Rush Limbaugh.
Randy keeps telling me I need to do these papers
Do
like
it.
Rush Limbaugh used
Do
to
it.
do.
I like it.
When he gets going, he ought to flash those papers.
Well, they either try
Have
to
a
get something
newspaper,
on you
wham.
or give you money, right?
Now, Brian, the only reason I'm doing this podcast is because of Randy. It's all his fault.
That's it.
When we go to
It's actually our wife's
You know,
fault.
he's got a phenomenal intro voice.
Yeah,
Like when
he
he
does.
first kicked it off,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, damn, I wasn't expecting that one.
he happens to sing
It
bass.
sounds good. It's
Okay.
like, man, this is like bringing back childhood memories. Smooth operator on the radio, man.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I've always said that he's the brains and I'm the beauty.
It works out.
Hey, Brian, we'd like to give you a gift here for being on our podcast. It's
Awesome.
Larry's Rants, Raves, and Reviews, our term limit T-shirt. We'd love to give that to you, and thank you for
I'd love to have it.
being on our show with us.
Most
And
important thing, Larry,
Yep.
hold me accountable
I will.
to your audience.
I will.
And
Matter
I'll
of fact,
come back and talk to
We'll
you.
come
I
see ya.
think when the door goes off
I know.
at the Capitol,
We're going to be up there.
we're going to take some of our equipment, and move in, and say, hey, we'll just be here. You know,
I was trying to find a way, because communication is consistent communication is one of the most difficult things to do from a large
Right.
organization.
Uh-huh.
So I was actually thinking about, maybe you guys could help me think through this. How can I do that? And I was thinking maybe bringing people in to do podcasts from the Secretary of State's office once a week.
good.
Or going
Yeah.
and doing that, and just hitting different ones and getting different audiences, and what does that?
We can help you set it up. My background's engineering, broadcast engineering,
Nice,
so I'll help you set it up.
I like it.
That's why I did all this.
Well, I mean, this is about one.
Well, it's a shoestring budget, but it worked. You don't have to have a lot of bucks to do it. Just a little bit.
Well, it looks really good.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Brian, for being with us. And folks, we hope that you will get out. We're going to air this during the primary.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it is not too late for you to, now that you've gotten to know Brian, we hope that you will come back out and will vote for Brian. Get out there in the primary and do what's really right. And I hope that you will have a wonderful day.